welcome you to coverage of the NASRA 360 Racing Network. And you're looking live at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Of course, actually, it's the Nashville Super Speedway. No, it is Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. All right, so we'll talk about some short track racing. And we're going to have some short track racing tonight. This is Season 2 of the NASRA Sim Racer Hub Truck Series. And there ain't much of an off season, okay? A couple of weeks from Adam Lambert to celebrate being a champion. That's it. We're dual racing. The duels are next week at Daytona. The big race will follow. But this is our clash at Nashville. And the starting lineup is looking like this as the field is getting gridded. Andrew McGonigal, Hunter Parsons, obviously, on the front row. Lumpkin Simpson, Peacock Steers. All these drivers are getting ready for racing. I'm Wesley Outland. Joining me in the booth is the man behind NASRA, Brady LaBeouf. We're ready to see some exciting truck racing at Nashville. This should be a good one for the Clash tonight.
Absolutely, Wesley. It's nice to kick off Speed Weeks. You know, Season 2 is upon us. A lot of new faces and new places, a lot of things going on. So a different format, different tracks on the schedule. Like, for instance, tonight we're at Nashville Fairgrounds, and last season we were at Daytona. Who knows where we'll be for Season 3, but the guys wanted to change it up, and so we're doing 100 laps straight up tonight to kick off the new season.
As we get all these drivers into place and get them ready to go for racing, obviously not much of a, if you will, Brady LaBeouf off season. Why is that? What was the decision to quickly move into season number 2 so fast?
It's the guys, you know, a lot of them, you know, we'll have a bunch of guys that sign up towards the later part of the year, and I won't let them run through the playoffs. You know, there's a lot of guys interested for the next season, and they want to run the races. So to accommodate those guys, we try to get the seasons kicked off as soon as we can.
Well, the green flag is out. We're underway, and as fast as the green flag flies, we're going to go under caution here. Here's a look at your on-the-pole instant replay of what happened. And this is why we're under the yellow flag. We'll watch all this transpire in the opening laps of the duel tonight, or the clash. The clash is tonight. The clash at Nashville, I guess, is what we're calling it. Here's a look at your instant replay presented by On the Pole, and there's a look at it here. So that's basically what happened off the pole. Instant replay there. Chris Kynes in the 29. Now, that's a driver that I get to follow also with the Northwest series for trucks as well. So I think it's pretty cool to see some Northwest guys coming in here and making some runs here. And I'll tell you this much. There's Hunter Parsons, a guy we know from the broadcast booth from the Commonwealth of Virginia, the winner at Richmond, a matter of fact, back a couple of months ago. Got that first win. Controversial if not, but he did get it done. And I'll tell you this as well, a way to restart, Brady. I just love that there is a lot of interest. You can look on the scoring pylon to see that these guys, even though this is a non-points event, they're taking advantage of the clash tonight.
That's exactly correct, Wesley. You know, there's a lot of part-time drivers. You know, we're missing myself as a full-time driver. Justin White, I don't see it here. Nathan Maurer, some of the guys that are full-time. You know, a lot of guys
sure.
that run this grueling season, this 25-week grueling season. I mean, it's grueling. Elected to take the night off, kind of get amped up, you know, get rejuvenated for the duels in week 1. But there, you know, we allow the part-time guys to come in. It sweetens the pot a little bit more for these guys, and you know, it's that. You'll get so much commitment. You know, the guys enjoy the league. They enjoy the Mondays, the Fridays, the truck series that we put on here at NASRA.
Sure.
And I'm just so proud of, you know, we got over 60 guys on the entry list this year.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So kudos to everybody that helps get this going and everything, and keeps maintaining it week in and week out. And the broadcast guys, you know, you guys show up just like the drivers show up. So, you know, it takes a lot. people don't know everything behind the scenes, but we're just so blessed to have this thing as successful as it's become.
And believe it or not, it started in the summer of 2020. And here we are now about 2 months away, moving into the summer of 2023. And Brady, I know we're getting ready for the restart. McGonigal and Parsons on the front row, Lumpkin, Peacock making up row number 2. But I got to ask you, isn't there an opportunity to get some new NASRA apparel up for grabs as well?
Absolutely. You can go to 213simware.com and get all your NASRA gear on there. There's a link in our Discords, but you can go on there and search NASRA at 213simware.com.
Yeah, by the way, got to give some love to Adam Flieger and Cody Nod and all the people that are behind the scenes. Obviously, my colleague in the booth for Season 2, Tyler Dittmer, wants to be more in the race trucks racing in the Monday Night Series. He might jump in the booth a time or two, but he's going to focus more on racing, and in doing so, I'll be joining William Tiller. We've got another young announcer that's supposed to be coming in and working with us as well. And we get ready for the restart here. 100 laps at Nashville. The field storming back off on the restart into turn number 1 and 2. Thundering herd of kaleidoscope of trucks down the back stretch in their colors. And Meg Ronigal and Parsons and Lumpkin right there leading the cavalry off of turn number 4 in what's been cloudy conditions at Nashville so far. Brady, back to one. We got one scraping off the wall there.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, in other series at NASRA, we've seen Andrew and Hunter run as teammates, but they are not teammates in this series. They run for 2 different teams, so it's going to be interesting to see if Hunter's going to, try to push the issue right here, trying to take this lead, and also if Andrew's going to let him have it, let him go with this 100 laps that they will be running.
Yeah, right now, of course, Meg Ronigal, the man up in front, followed by Hunter Parsons. Taylor Peacock up a couple of spots from 5th into 3rd position. Lumpkin, Hamilton. That's the way it's.
raced against other guys before. And the Clash, it's not really a bad idea having a short track for the Clash race because there's going to be more short tracks to race during the season. So hopefully the guys can get familiar with one another and put on a better show than what they're doing. But, with these cautions, we get an opportunity to kind of go through the field too if we can click on other drivers, and we'll give you kind of a, description of who they are and the numbers they're running for, the audience.
About to be 1/4 of the way through right now, and I'll tell you what, Jacob, Taylor Peacock now holding off this cavalry at Hamilton, Steers, and Lumpkin off the corner.
Yeah, and Taylor Peacock is absolutely rolling with it, doing absolutely all he can, going around this beautiful track that I have had the pleasure of being at. And Taylor Peacock trying to hold off Sean Hamilton and Joey Stiers right here as they come off of turn 4, coming back to the line. Really fast laps at this short track, and I'm very, very excited to see that this track was able to be, I guess you could say, remade and brought back to life, because a lot of people don't know that this track right here was actually going to be extinct until the Nashville community had their say in it.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I've had many opportunities to be on the broadcast crew for the All-American 400, as well as some other events with MAV TV and the ARCA series. Matter of fact, ARCA will be at Nashville this upcoming weekend, to be exact. And hey, we had some technical difficulties with some sound. Our apologies on that. I know Adam Flieger and some other logistics being worked on behind the scenes, but we are back up and running, and the race rolls on. Taylor Peacock is the leader. There's the HD entry of Sean Hamilton, Joey Steers, Justin Lumpkin, Chris Blanchard right now. Brady, your top 5 as they're all single file to 1.
Absolutely. And, Justin Lumpkin runs for Sick With It Motorsports. Sean Hamilton. Sean was with Brute Force last season, but he's come over to run with me on my team for Mission 1 Esports this season. So a lot of guys switching teams. It's been fun. Wesley, we have silly season at Nazareth, and it's really fun to keep up with it in the Discord. You will see some games being played. Chris Blanchard runs for Misfit Motorsports. I'm sorry, he owns Misfit Motorsports, but he runs with Highline Racing. It's another new team. Jason Morales started that team, so he runs Highline. Adam Newbert, your past champion from Season 1. He's with Sick With It Motorsports. They're going to try to knock off Mission 1 Esports for that team championship. Adam's been talking a lot of smack this past week. He said he was coming for that Mission 1 Esports group this season.
Oh, there you go. We'll see how all that transpires, as right now we're about 30 laps in to the Clash at Nashville. Season 2 fires up here tonight for the non-point Sim Racer Hub Truck Series and the Pultz Poppers Clash 100. Wesley Outland, of course, Jacob Reeves and Brady LaBeouf, and there you go. Yellow flag is got a caution out over the racetrack again, as we mentioned, and we'll take a look at the on the pole instant replay. Jacob, you called it before we did. We're under yellow.
Yeah, it looked like Chris Kynes in the number 29. I'm going back and looking at this right here as well, and as we're going right here, we're seeing it live right here. Looks like he kind of, from what I have to get a second look at it, but looks like he kind of got tapped, which is very, very common for short track racing, especially here at Nashville. We're going to get another look at it right here as they're coming off of turn 2. Got that real nice slow-mo replay. This is going to be really beautiful. And yeah, I mean, Brady, you talked about, and Brady, you talked about this right here with some of the new guys that's in this series, not knowing some of the guys that's been in this series before. These guys are still trying to learn one another, and that might have been a case of somebody trying to learn somebody's tendencies at this particular track and learning when to get back on the gas. And I mean, I think that's just typical short track racing, Brady.
Absolutely, and you'll have that. We've just seen that on the Triple M Pulling Truck Series on Friday nights. A guy, Justin Lumpkin, checked up, and Jacob Klinghardt got out of the gas, and Stephen Thomas got into the back of Jacob and turned him. It was a good thing Jacob came back to finish fifth. A great run for him in that race. But that's just typical things. You can't. You're on the bumper of somebody, and you can't see what's going on in front of you, just like at a super speedway. So if one little thing coming out the corner like they were, you get out the gas and you're on the gas, it's just trouble waiting to happen.
Yeah, we're under a yellow flag again for the fourth time. Couple of trucks taking the wave around, if you will. Chris Blanchard, you're on board with him now, the driver of that Blanchard's Towing number 9 out of Clinton, Maine. His Ford right now settling currently in the top 5. Peacock, Hamilton, Steers, Lumpkin, Blanchard, your top 5. Jason Morales, had a great chat with him earlier this afternoon when I finally, for the first time, convinced myself to have to download Discord on my cell phone. So I finally did it. I caved. I never said I would do it. Me and Discord are not fans, but I finally caved and downloaded Discord on my cell phone. And Mr. Jason Morales was my guinea pig to help me out, making sure you could hear me and understand me. And of course, then me and Adam Flieger worked on the video side of things. Lance Miller is 7th. Adam Newbert, the champion, of course, last year, season 1. Going to go back and repeat. Can we do it? That's for the Sick With It Motorsports number 4. Joey Doucette and Ryan Twinham right now, your top 10. There it stands. There's on board with Joey Doucette. There's Ryan Twinman from Chicago. Bad news is time flies. The good news is that you're the pilot. I like that. That makes sense.
Yeah, me too. I do like that. Yeah, Ryan's a new driver for Rev Racing. He may jump on board with Hunter Performance Motorsports. That's still up in the air. They're going to get that all sorted out before week 1. 10 different teams, Wesley. 10 different teams so far this year, and you're allowed to have 5 full-time drivers per team. So do the math right there. That's 50 drivers. And then you're allowed to carry as many part-time drivers as you like, because part-time drivers will help you out with the team points throughout the season.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I'll tell you what, Jacob, that just builds up the truck count for, I think, a good season when we fire up in a couple of weeks in Daytona.
Yeah, that's going to be really, really awesome to see at Daytona. See a lot of great trucks and a lot of familiar faces and a lot of new faces, and that's something that is very, very awesome to see.
Back to the restart with Taylor Peacock leading the way, working their way top 3 single file. Behind them is Lumpkin, Blanchard, Morales. They're going to have a nice little battle side by side. Morales thought about being in the middle of that 3-wide battle, as here comes now Morales, Newbert, Miller, all these drivers going at it down into turn number 3, Brady. And there goes Doucette. Don't count out the 16.
Absolutely. Adam's going to try to make this run. It looks like he's going to get it on the outside of Lance Miller, 21 truck. He's trying to make that outside work. Joey's going to try to follow Adam right here. Look at that run. Just, it's almost like Lance is standing still. But a great job right there. Joey's going to follow. A lot of battling going on, side-by-side action. This is why we like coming to places like Nashville Fairgrounds. With the banking and everything, you're able to run side-by-side like they're doing. And a key note is that they only have, as we see Ryan get turned around right there.
Wow, big turnaround right there for Ryan Twinham, and everybody just kind of piles in right there on the bottom. Brady, sorry to cut you off, but everybody,
that's all right.
Yeah, everybody just kind of just drove right in. And with this track, I mean, you talked about it, Brady. This track, it's got a lot of multiple grooves. People can run up top, people can run on the bottom, but it's not as wide as like a Talladega, I guess you could say. So, when they wreck in front of you, all you can do is either hit the brakes and close your eyes or try to find a hole to try to get through it.
And only one set of tires tonight, guys. One extra set in the pits. So it'd be interesting to see if everybody's going to come down pit road, as it looks like Tyler Daniels right there in the 25 just gets onto the side of them. Might have been some net code there, might have not been. That's tough. You know, you're probably pushing off the corner right there a little bit. But yeah, that's just short track racing, I guess, too.
I just find it amazing that he literally is spinning right in the whole hack of everybody, and only maybe one or two trucks got a piece of it after it was over with, Jacob.
Yeah, that is very, very lucky for a bunch of guys. I mean, he was right smack dab on the bottom of the track, so I mean, there was a little bit of a hole for everybody to be able to slide around on the top. But I mean, Brady, you called it. I mean, this is just basic short track racing at its finest here at the Nashville Fairgrounds, and you know, that's why people love to come here and love to watch these races. Is you see right here, once again on board, I mean, just the absolute 360 spin cycle, and then everybody that was on the bottom just kind of just piles right into it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I was actually happy because there could have been a lot more trucks involved in that.
Absolutely.
You know, I always say with a new group, the two worst things that the group decides to do is they can't. It seemed like they can't follow each other on the pace laps. You always got one or two guys that don't pay attention and hit the other guy, and then you got a whole bunch of people that's mad. And then whenever the wreck happens and people are spinning, you got about 20 cars running from 20th to 30th to 40th that just come piling in, and the next thing you know, you got trucks flying up in the air. But great job by this group for being aware. You know, we talk about driver awareness a lot during the week. I try to be you know, active as much as I can throughout the week with the guys, you know, to kind of keep them, you know, going, keep them excited, talking to them during the week about, you know, each race and whatnot. And, you know, a lot of things that the guys tend to talk about is pacing and, you know, when the cautions come out, not everybody slowing down. So a lot of learning to do, but, yeah, very proud of the group right there on that incident.
Brady, I got to ask you this question, buddy. Obviously, the clash at the Coliseum, we done that with the Millie's Restaurant and Catering Next Gen Cup cars back in February. But where was the decision made to have this clash for the Sim Racer Hub Truck Series at Nashville?
Okay, so since I race in my leagues, I have a board of directors. I have 9 guys. Well, actually 8 guys. I'm the 9th guy. I'm the 9th board member. As we going back to green right here, Taylor Peacock's going to be the first place truck on the inside. He spins the tires right there. See the older tires, 48 laps on these tires, guys. And Joey Stiers is going to take the lead. That's a great move to power by on the outside right there. But Wesley, I'm sorry. Back to your question. Yeah, since I raced in the series that I run, I don't pick the schedules by myself as a caution comes out.
Yeah, another yellow.
Yep, another yellow flag. Cautions breed cautions. I'm pretty sure this isn't the last caution that we'll see, but to hurry up and answer your question, Wesley, the board of directors makes the schedules, and you know we start with the playoffs. We take a lot of pride into making the playoffs as hard as they can be for these guys to win the championship. So we'll pick the round of, we'll start with the round of 20, the round of 14, the round of 10, and then go down to the championship 6 race. And then we'll look at, you know, important races like the cutoff race before the playoffs, the race midway, you know, before the All-Star break and after.
Sure.
We'll always have speed weeks where we're at Daytona week 1 with the dual races. That's my favorite part of the whole season. I'll never get away from doing that. There's just something about qualifying, running dual races, and then running Daytona. I know guys get tired of running the super speedway race, but for 3 weeks in a row, but I enjoy it. So we do that, and then we kind of fill in the gaps, you know, like with 1.5 mile short tracks, road courses and whatnot, and we place them where they go. And I'll usually let a board member pick a race.
Sure.
We'll kind of go like a draft, almost like a snake. So, you know, board member 1 will go, and then once all 9 pick, it'll come back to him, and he'll pick the second round. So you know, you don't necessarily get your track that you might like. You know, you got to think outside the box. It's very diverse. You get a lot of different opinions to make the schedule as a whole. And I will say that I did not pick this for a clash race. But I'm glad that the board member did pick it because it's thinking outside the box, and I like things like that at Nazareth. You know, I like changing things up. Not being complacent is the number one thing that I strive not to be. Because when you're complacent, there's no growing.
And I got to say, to elaborate in this subject, man, the schedule for the next 25 weeks is very impressive. So, by the way, just want to let everyone know that in addition to tonight's Nazareth Clash here presented by Pultz Pultz Poppers 100 Clash, in addition to that, there is also qualifying at Daytona, the Nazareth qualifier. However, and Brady, we can just hint on this real quickly as we get the one to go at the line and come back to green next time around. Qualifying is not aired. That's basically just tallying the times to determine the dual races that will be at Daytona on the Super Speedway next Monday night.
That's correct. It wasn't broadcast. We'll look at broadcasting it for season 3. We just didn't even think about it for this season, so we didn't air it. But everybody ran at 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. before this race. They all went and ran their 2 laps to set up the duels, and who's ever on the front row will be locked in for week 1 at Daytona.
There you go. So there you now. Now you're called up as we get ready to go back for the restart here. Next week, the Clash. Tonight, the duels next week, and May the 22nd. It is the Daytona kickoff race, and it'll all go for 25 weeks. It'll wrap up mid-October for the finale at Auto Club Speedway. The playoffs will fire off on Labor Day weekend as well as the green flag comes back out. I'll tell you what, Jacob, we hinted on it earlier, and we've seen over 50 plus laps of racing. We're in the second half of this race now. By the way, no stages, 100 laps straight up. And obviously, we've seen drivers that are wearing their tires down. They're not coming to the pits because I honestly think they don't have to take on tires or fuel because of so many cautions, Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on that, Wesley. I mean, with as many cautions as we had, I mean, granted, they're going to be fine on fuel. That's not the problem. It's the problem that some of these guys, you know, they kind of charge through the field, like Christopher Blanchard. That's a guy that we've talked about previously. This guy was started at 19th position. He's all the way up to 5th. And then you got our previous champion in the 4, Adam. He's up from starting 17th all the way up to 6th. So some of these guys, they've charged through the field. But yeah, we've had some wrecks, so maybe they've got lucky and been able to get past all of that. It's just some of these other guys that are just driving from the back of the pack trying to get up through there, they're burning their tires up. But I'll say this, in my honest opinion, those 2 guys up front, Joey Stiers and Taylor Peacock, they are checking out. As we got one right here spinning, looks like off of turn 4, no caution. Now the caution comes out, but the 2 front guys, they're checking out.
As Joey Doucette, the 16 machine we mentioned, the number 82 also involved in the accident, rolling away as the caution comes out for also Adam Newton. And cautions breed cautions. Hey, listen, we haven't took a break yet. Here's a look at the On the Pole instant replay. We'll show you what happened, and then we'll step aside in just a moment. But here's a look at what. Okay, we'll get it up here in just a moment. Everybody, just stand by with us. Joey Stiers is still the leader. Taylor Peacock second, and I'm understanding we're having problems with the instant replay. So we'll step away. We'll take a quick break. And nope, we have it now. Okay, here's who we're on board with now, Joey Doucette. Let's take a look at what happened to the Oakland main driver, and it looks like Brady, real quick before the break, just lost it on his own, hit the Ute tire at the inside retaining pit wall, and then there you see Woodard going around, or Newton, and I think he just got on the binders to try to miss him.
Yeah, it looks like Joey might have had too much rear brake in the truck. You could see that once he got passed by Hunter Horsons and Lance Miller, that he was pushing it a little bit deeper into the corner, and it looked like he just had too much rear brake, and it came back around on him. And Adam Newton, yeah, you could tell he just checked up, and his truck came around also. But looks like pit stops are happening too.
Yeah, pit stops are about to go down, so we'll stay right here with you before we go to TV timeout, as some of these drivers, at least in the top 15 in back, are coming to the pit lane. Adam Newton, Curtis Rogers, Here comes, I don't see any of the front runners, though, taking the opportunity. Joey Steers, Sean Hamilton, Justin Lumpkin, some of these guys coming out of the pit lane. So some taking advantage, some not. And we settle in for the final 40 laps of the Pultz Poppers Clash 100 here at Nashville. We'll take a quick step away to go to break. We come back to the finish as well from Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. This is the NASRA Sim Racer Hub Truck Series on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Back here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network, green flag goes back in the air with Brady LaBeouf, Jacob Reeves. I'm Wesley Outlet, Adam Fleeger on production. The Clash at Nashville and the Pultz Poppers 100 continues. Joey Steers on the restart over Hamilton, Lumpkin, and Miller. Brady side by side. Thomas and Tribune as well off into one.
So I take it that Taylor Peacock did in fact go down pit road. He did go down pit road to get that set of tires because wasn't. Oh, wow.
Oh, no.
Right in front of Taylor Peacock. Huge wreck.
McGronigle.
Come out. Wow. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, big crash. And, I mean, Wesley, Brady, this is something kind of what happened off of turn 2 just a second ago when everybody just kind of piled in. It's basically the same incident.
McGronigle involved, Lumpkin involved, Peacock I think just got caught up in it, maybe Barnett. Here's a look, Brady, on that on the pole instant replay, bud.
I'm not going to say anything just yet until we see it, but remember, these two guys got into it earlier fighting for the lead.
Yes, they did.
Oh,
man. Kyle Hess hit into the fence on his own, and then that made everybody check up behind him. We got to look at the replay one more time. I can't say that McGronicle's at fault, and then this is what happened behind it.
Yeah, we're going to have to maybe get a four-chase view on that to kind of see. Kyle Hess' incident was behind these guys. Kyle went down pit road. But, yeah, I don't know if McGronigle got loose with Hunter on the side of him or if there was some net code. Maybe if we can get a four. There we go. Maybe we can get a better view right here, Wesley, and see if there was.
This might be the best view right here to give you the tell of the tape. There's Lumpkin alongside McGronigle, Blanchard in the 9, and you just see McGronigle just going around on his own, nowhere to go, bounced off Hunter Parsons. Parsons is up in the fence, and then Jacob, it just blocks the path. Nowhere to go for Peacock or others. Lumpkin 3 wide, smothered in the middle is Bullock. He gets plowed into the accident. So does a whole bunch of others. And I mean, it's just, nobody's fault. It just happened.
Yeah, and that's just typical racing. I mean, and that can happen at any track. I mean, not only just here at Nashville Fairgrounds. That could happen at Atlanta. That could happen at Texas, Dover, Kansas, where the NASCAR Cup Series and the Truck Series was running at this past weekend. Anyway, I mean, any track. It's just one guy tries to send it, and he just loses it. I mean, it happens to the best of us. It happens to everybody. It's happened to me. I'm sure it's happened to Brady. It's happened to everybody trying to send it in there, and you just lose it just a little bit. But the difference between this track and other tracks that I called off is this track's not as wide, so everybody's not be able to get around it. And I'll be honest with you, they was coming in 3 wide trying to get around it. That's some crazy stuff right there. Everybody was just trying to just go full send, just trying to figure out any way they could just get around it.
I'll be honest with you, Brady, and I'll get your thoughts on this as longtime driver, not only as president of NASRA. Man, you dive off into the corner. You got so much room here at Nashville, but it seems like it shrinks in the cockpit whenever something goes wrong, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. Especially, whenever you can't, the number one thing I preach to everybody is, everybody says, well, he's not supposed to be there. Well, you can't predict where that driver's going, whether he's on the inside or outside of you.
Right.
And so you can't predict where he's going to be at, so you only can control where you're going to go. And a lot of times, guys pinch people down, they door each other, they dive bomb each other, and when you do that, as we see Ron Hunter around, but
and just as fast as we go back to green, we're back under caution. Yeah, there goes the Hunter Performance. Ron Hunter, number 30, around. Another one of those drivers of the Northwest, and we got a parking lot again with some more trucks involved.
Yeah, a bunch of them parked. Wow, right there on the bottom of the track. And I mean, it's like, it sounds like, that we're broken records, just keep saying the same thing over and over and over again. But this is typical short track racing. I mean, we've seen it at tracks like Bristol, Richmond, just every other short track that you can really think of. I mean, it just happens to be a parking lot at Martinsville for another factor. You see it right here, just everybody big stack up. Just everywhere.
Tyler Daniels, man.
Oh, man, and you see it
There's
right
Ron
there.
Hunter. How did all this happen here? Well, whatever happened, it happened after Ron Hunter had already spun, and there's the end result of it right there. Man, well, Daniel, 65, off the pace. Also was the, oh, man. Curtis Rogers is what I meant to say. There's the end result there. There's Bullock in 17, and, oh, wow. Somehow Hunter Parsons snuck through that, Brady. I don't know how he did, but he got through it 3 wide.
He's had an eventful night tonight, that's for sure.
Oh, man, the cheesehead from Green Bay, Wisconsin. And a winner last year in the series at Richmond, if you remember. Here's one more look at it on board with Hunter Parsons, by the way. Look at this. Well, this is going to be fun, Jacob. Look at this. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Look at this. And he's not done. Oh, he did get damage. Oh, no.
Almost made it through. I mean, that was some killer driving by Hunter Parsons right there to be able to try to slide past all that stuff. And, once the smoke's up, all you can do is all you can do just to try to make it through it. But, there's something else I was going to say about this, Wesley. All these guys right here, they know they're in for a long season ahead of themselves with everybody out here.
That was like virtual Days of Thunder on board with Parsons just a moment ago, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Just right on board with, Days of Thunder. I love that movie. That's probably one of my favorite movies ever. But, going back to what I was saying, all these guys, they're going to have to race each other all season long. So, it might be, it might be good just to go ahead and get the cobwebs out of the way, go ahead and get the tempers out of the way, say your sorries, and try to just get it out of the way as quick as you can. So I love the fact of having the clash at a short track to just kind of go ahead and just get everybody's emotions out, the season starting, get the emotions out, get everybody upset, get it out of the way. That way when we go straight to Daytona on May 22nd, we'll be able to go out there and just flat out go at Daytona wide open.
Yeah, by the way, remember the clash tonight here at Nashville, the Pultz Poppers 100. Next week will be the duels at Daytona. They qualified. Brady, can you give us a little sneak peek? Who was fast in qualifying at Daytona? Was it yourself?
I can't tell you. I can tell you. Whenever I left the session, I was around the 8th to 9th position.
Okay.
Tyler Daniels was on pole. I can't remember who was second. I know that I was in between Justin Lumpkin and Hunter Parsons.
Gotcha.
But in 13 minutes, I'll be able to tell y'all more. more
Well, cool.
once the results come out.
Give us all those details, because that's where we'll be for the duels at Daytona. That's the twins, the twin qualifier races to set the lineup for.
Got another wreck
being
going
in 2
into
weeks.
turn 3. Wow. Oh, wow. Caution. Big wreck back here in the back. And our champion. Past champion.
Adam Lambert. Adam Lambert's involved. Adam Newbert.
Adam Newbert got caught up in it. Looked like he tried to miss it, but just got caught up right in it. I mean, just absolutely nowhere for him to go. As we're going to watch it right here coming off of turn 2. Big stack up. Everybody big hit by the 71. And then somewhere going into turn 3, Adam Newbert just had nowhere to go and just got caught up in all of it.
Yeah, let's continue and extend it on the pole instant replay and go on board now with the number 4. They're going to go 3 wide. And there you see the end result. Turned into the fence. Dan Hagan, Hunter Parsons, some others, and Ron Hunter, others in the fence. And well, he got hit by Parsons again, Brady. Man, he can't. Hunter Parsons at Nashville seems like it's a ping pong ball out there, man. Man, oh man, what a tough break there. And there's the DR Electric number 4 for swim. Obviously winning the championship last, 2 weeks ago. So much for celebrating, right, Brady? I mean, he's right back to the whip again, defending that title.
Absolutely. And, that's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you're on top, and then, sometimes you have a bad week. So
It just looked real tight right there, getting into 3. Everybody trying to go for the same real estate, and Hunter Parsons just kind of comes back in there and gets into Adam Newbert a little bit. I'm sure that wasn't intentional how that probably looked, but I mean, a lot of real hard racing. Everybody just trying to get to the front, and in my opinion, and I could be wrong in this instance, but in my opinion, I don't know if this is just typical short track racing, or it might be a little bit of impatience. Everybody trying to go, wide open at one time. Everybody trying to get where they can go, I guess. I mean, I'm not sure. It's either short track racing or it's impatience.
Oh, yes. I tell you, Jacob, I would love to hear race control right now. And TJ Moore has got to be, Brady, having a conniption, telling these guys, look, what are you going to keep tearing your stuff up? Come on, guys, let's race. We're 80 laps into this race with 20 laps to go, Brady, and I think we've had more laps under caution than green flag.
Yeah, I believe we have, honestly, Wesley. I mean, I believe we have had more laps under caution. I know we have since I've came in here anyway, so, yeah, but like I said, we go back to, some of these guys, Adam Newbert and Hunter Parsons, these guys were around last season, and then you bring in some other guys that was not in this series last season. They're still trying to get their feet wet, trying to make a name for themselves here in Nassau. So, you gotta play. You gotta have the good with the bad, honestly, Wesley. You got the good and then you got the bad. You just got some new guys, around a lot of experienced drivers, and everybody's just trying to fill each other out, but there's a lot of impatience right now, but we'll see what they do right here in these last 20 laps.
If anybody is referring to E-Manny, I think if you're referring to Tyler Racing, if you're referring to Tyler Daniels, just got caught up in a couple of accidents, 11 laps down. If you're referring to Tyler Dittmer, he's not here tonight. Of course, he'll be back, but I believe probably next week. But right back to green, and there is another caution flag again.
Pile up. Big, huge pile up. My gosh.
We've already said big, but it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. I caught a fish. It was this big. But no, here it is, Jacob. Oh, my God. Wow, that's Hamilton Airborne. Oh, my goodness.
Huge,
that is the big one. That's the big one.
Huge pile up right there, Wesley. I would like to see kind of how that started.
Wow.
Honestly, it kind of looked like somebody might have overdrove the corner and kind of got in the wall, and then everybody just slammed right into him. Or maybe he got hooked. I'm not real sure, but
Brady, it's that thing that we talk about, the chain reaction effect. You just saw it on the back straightaway. Great work on the camera, by the way, by Adam Fligger. Adam, let's go on board with Sean Hamilton and let's see what he said, what he's seen. If you are not a fan of flying through the air and heights, I encourage you, please turn away now. But look at this: light sky, light, dark. And Brady, you look at this, man, nowhere to go, and everybody else just piles in. There's that shrinkage on the track we were talking about.
Yeah, just wild. Second, third place truck gets into it right there, and then it's just calamity after that. I mean, that's like the big one that you see at Talladega, Daytona.
Yeah, that's something we might see in the duels next week. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow. Raul Meza, Sean Hamilton, obviously Ron Hunter. Somehow or another, the pace truck's trying to clear a path to find a way through. Oh, my. What is this, like the 11th caution of the race, I think?
Yeah, I believe so, Wesley. I mean, this has had a lot of cautions in this race, and I don't know what the record would be for cautions here at Nashville Fairgrounds, but Wesley, I think we're actually catching that. I think we might even set a record tonight in this.
Yeah, we're closing in on 13 laps to go here in the Pultz Poppers Clash 100 at Nashville. The Nashville Clash, by the way, don't forget, tomorrow night we're back here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network with coverage of the race at South Boston. South Boston will be another fun, exciting one. Don't forget the NASRA Pultz Popper Late Model Stock Car Series All-Star Race will be, of course, right here at Nashville on Tuesday night, May the 30th, actually, is when it's going to be. May 30th, right after Memorial Day. And that should be a fun race, Brady. You're dangling carrots at some of the best sim late model drivers in America. I think they're going to be coming after that money, I hope.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be a great event for us as a group, our series, so we can't wait to see it and put it on.
By the way, big shout out to Cody Knott. Of course, he's the man that's right there behind the scenes of making all of this take place and transpire. You better make your plans also to join them. And remember, if you can, go to NASRA Racing. If not, watch on the NASRA Racing 360 Racing Network as we're getting ready to go back to the green flag. It's a 10-lap shootout. Jacob Reeves, Stiers, Thomas, Miller, Blanchard, Peacock. Sounds like a law firm. That's your top 5 at Nashville. Can we go to the finish without a wreck?
I really hope so, Wesley. I mean, I think these guys, they might have got it out of their system over the past 90 laps, so hopefully everything will be able to stay clean. A lot of bumping and banging.
No, it's not. Trouble. Lumpkin in trouble. 18 in the fence. Justin Lumpkin.
Joey Doucette looked like he got dumped going into turn 1. Wow.
Caution out for Justin Lumpkin at the start-finish line, understanding Joey Doucette might have got punted or tattooed going off into turn number 1. We'll watch all this transpire, and we set ourselves in for single digits. And Brady, another caution flag. Oh, wow, yeah, Joey Doucette, Dan Hagan on the binders. All of this going on. Let's see. Adam Newbert, defending truck champion, right there in his back door. Did he get into him? Is he a little aggressive? Yes, he punted him. Oh, no.
Wow.
Brady, is that racing or is that, hey, man, you done something to me earlier and I remember?
We don't exactly know, but I think what's happening too, guys, is that you're seeing guys that on old tires and new tires, guys lifting a little bit earlier than normal, maybe. So, I think it just catches guys unexpectedly, and that's what usually happens.
There you go. Nashville Derby, not Kentucky Derby. I like that one. Thank you, Brandon Broadfoot. Appreciate that. He, by the way, a survivor of the Coliseum for the Millie's Next Gen NASRA Cup Series when that was in existence. He won that crazy race. And Brady, me and you called that one back in February, and man, it felt like it was that way.
Absolutely. That was, remember that like it was yesterday, Wesley.
Yes, sir. Definitely. Hopefully we could try to find a way to bring back the Millie's Restaurant and Catering Next Gen Cup cars. I enjoyed it. I thought it could have been something that could have grown to be big. Maybe the date needed to be changed. and that's the thing you need to realize. All these, over the years, Brady, I think you can say this, you have these ideas, but if they don't work, you try to find a way to make it work before you finally throw in the towel. And obviously that's with the creation of any type of idea of doing this new sim series.
Oh, absolutely. It's hit and miss. What works for your league and your group may not work for every single person. So it just depends. And I mean, it would have been nice to, watch the real life Cup Series on TV and then run your own race after, because that's typically what we were shooting for. But it didn't work out. But that's not to say that we won't try to bring it back. Maybe just on a different night.
Maybe a different night might be the better way of doing it. As we're closing in, by the way, on 5 laps to go. By the way, there is 3 attempts at a restart in overtime if need be right now. So Joey Sires out in front, Stephen Thomas in second, Lance Miller third, Taylor Peacock, Chris Blanchard top 5, Brandon Bullock, Steve Barnett, Hunter Simpson, Adam Cantwell, and Kerry Tribune right there in the top 10. The lights are off on the pace truck. Jacob Reeves, we will have 4 laps to go when they come back to the Geico restart zone and we take the green to hopefully find ourselves a winner here.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll be able to get these last couple of laps in under green. But we talked about Taylor Peacock a while ago. He got caught up in a wreck when he went in to try to get some tires, and he went in and got his tires. So he's got some really fresh tires. I'm sure, we've had a bunch of cautions and everything, so he's able to save what he's got. So he's made it all the way back from all the mess that was in the back. So watch out for Taylor Peacock right here on this restart.
Back to green, 4 laps to go. Joey Stires on the restart pulls away. Thomas now holding off a log jam of Peacock, Miller, Blanchard, and Bullock somehow battered and damaged and called up an accident, Brady, but he's right back in the top 5. Blanchard turned, Peacock got into Bullock, and they're all wrecking. Trouble on the front straightaway. Going around is also Barnett. Adam Newbert, the champion, is involved, or at least he stopped to check up. There goes also Chris Kynes, and we're going to overtime here at Nashville.
That is a huge, huge wreck right there, Wesley. I know we've, it's like I said earlier, I know we sound like broken records every time, something happens. But, I mean, it remains to be seen. It's, huge wreck right here. I mean, Blanchard gets turned, and then everybody just trying to get through. And somebody flipped. It looked like they almost went over the fence. There you see our past champion, Adam Newbert, getting into Blanchard, trying to stop, trying to minimize what damage that he had.
That's Barnett that went flying through the air, I believe. If we could go on board to the 42 of Barnett, I believe that's the truck, Brady LaBeouf, that got flying through the air here. Watch this. Oh, no. Oh, wow.
Oh,
wow.
That's insane.
By the way, all these drivers had to do was just hit that escape button, and they all survived this virtual crash. Watch this one more time. Oh, my goodness. Curtis Rogers, he's the one that flew through the air. Wow.
I mean, he took a huge ride right there, Wesley, like a skateboard at the X Games is what it looked like. I mean, he was flying right there, but I mean, these guys are not going to give an inch right here. I mean, they're trying to get everything they possibly can for themselves to try to get their name here at Nassau. So these guys aren't giving an inch, and it just so happens to be at a short track where they're not giving that inch. So, I know we got 3 green, white checkers. I hope we don't use all of them, but I mean, it's like I said, these guys ain't giving an inch. They're going to do everything they can to try to get up to the front.
3 attempts if necessary, and we'll try it here in just a moment. Setting you up for overtime. We'll take a break, and we come back for the finish of extra laps when we return from Nashville. There you
main
go.
or
That's
something.
what I liked. Yeah, there you go.
And then I would have inverted the field after 50 laps. Really piss them off.
I hope that the broadcast didn't pick up any of that during commercial break. I hope. One to go at the line. Welcome back. And it didn't. Oh, wow. Welcome back. We're getting ready for the restart. Jacob Reeves, Brady LaBeouf. We were just talking about off air how crazy the race has been. And maybe, Brady, you're the boss. I mean, they kind of caught the tail end of it on the broadcast. But in your defense, you're basically just saying I would have changed the format a little bit to make things different.
Oh, absolutely. You know, it's hit and miss. You know, it's a 9-points race. You never know how many guys are going to show up, but obviously everybody's excited to kick off the season and speed weeks for season 2. So we're back to green flag right here.
It's his first attempt at overtime, ladies and gentlemen. If they come for the white, race is official. If they don't, they're wrecking. They work their way in the corner. Caution out. Overtime 2. Jacob Reeves is coming up.
Man, big pile up back here. Looks like there's more trucks back here than I can count, to be honest with you, to try to call who got caught in it. But you're going to see right here going into the turn, just over aggressiveness. I mean, granted, it's a green, white, checkered, and these guys are trying to get all that they can, but over aggressiveness, and this happens at short tracks. And unfortunately, as you see right here, you know, he's got a blown motor, which is going to be a meatball flag. You know, a lot of racers would know that. So, I mean, you know, very unfortunate, especially to ride around for 100 laps and try to get to the end of it and then get caught up in something like that.
I'll tell you what, the Mackinac, Illinois driver Joey Stiers in lead, and there you can follow him on Twitch at Stiers23. But man, we're watching these guys battle it out here, and Brady, listen, the broadcast kind of caught the tail end of our off-air conversation, and basically, can you just elaborate or explain that basically we're just saying that you would have done the format differently? You didn't know you were going to have 35 plus trucks, and we got new racers here with veteran guys, and you probably would have done things different with having qualifying heat races or the champions having provisionals or something of that caliber to not have a wreck show, if you will.
Oh, absolutely. You just never know, you know, with a non-points event, if, you know, who's going to show up and who's going to not. So you never know if you're going to have, you know, 10 to 15 to 18 trucks, you know, especially, you know, at Nashville Fairgrounds, a short track, you know, it definitely would have been a perfect opportunity to do heat races. But see, that's the issue with some of this, you know, money league stuff is, you know, guys, you know, pay entry fees late, you know, they last minute, you know, they sign up, whatnot. So it's always hard to predict how many trucks you're going to have. But Wesley, you were asking earlier, I do have some breaking news for you.
Yes, breaking news.
So to line up the winner of the poll for week 1 is Mr. Tyler Daniels with a time of 52.079. Andrew McGonigal will be second, so that would be your front row. Tyler Daniels, Andrew McGonigal, with a time of 52.080. So 1,000th of a second, Tyler beats Andrew. And we'll have the full lineups for the duels tomorrow.
All right, so there you see it. That's the way it's all going to go down whenever we settle in for this restart. So Tyler Daniels next week will be one of those drivers on the pole for the duels at Daytona. They qualified, by the way, earlier this evening before tonight's Pultz Poppers 100 Nashville Clash second overtime. By the way, 107 laps completed. We're getting ready to come back to the restart, and we'll fire him back up again on lap number 108. All right, so Stiers, Thomas, front row, Peacock, Miller, Bullock, top 5, Simpson right there on the outside. Pace truck is in. Overtime, number 2, Nashville, back to green, and Stiers gets a jump on the corner into 1. Thomas will follow. Peacock right there. Some people are bragging to watch the 81. And meanwhile, we watch them go into turn number 3. Final time, Brady, as they work off 4. They're slicing and dicing. The leader Steyr
this is gonna get good.
to the white flag.
Yep, this is going to get good. We'll see if Taylor can make a run. He's on fresher tires. We'll see if he can make a run coming out of 2.
Race is official down the back straightaway. They're working their way to the checkered flag in overtime number 2. Winner of the Pultz Poppers 100 Clash in Nashville, Joey Steyr in the 923. Steers will win. Peacock trying to get to second. Bullet crashes as they go into 1. So does also Hunter on the cool-down lap. And Thomas for Swim will finish 3rd. Well, double overtime. What a great race it was tonight, though. Joey Steyr winning. And my goodness, Jacob Reeves, they're still not done wrecking on the cool-down lap at Nashville.
Now, you might see a little bit of beef, I guess you could say, on some of these guys getting caught up in some of those wrecks. They probably waited till after the checkered flag to show their displeasure, but one guy that I'm guaranteeing right now, he has no issues with anybody and no displeasure with anybody right now is Joey Steyr. He takes it home, and real smart move and real smart racing by him to be able to stay up front and to be able to stay away from all the madness. So good man on Joey Steyr right there.
Wow. And I believe that the driver out of Mackinac, Illinois, is from the land of Lincoln. I believe we're understanding did not pit one time at all during this race. Of course, when it's all said and done, in double overtime, Joey Steyr picking up the win. There's how you can follow him on Twitter, the Green Mean Machine for Rev Racing. Hey, there you go, Brady. There's one of those new virtual esports race teams you were talking about. And right out of the gate, they win the Clash here at Nashville.
Absolutely. Congratulations to Joey. He's a newcomer to the series. He's running part-time this season. Wasn't sure if his schedule was going to align with our schedule, so he's going to try it out. And what a way to kick off Speed Weeks, guys, with Joey winning the Clash. I know he's got to be pumped up about this.
Hey, by the way, to answer your question, email. I see it clearly now. I was looking at the small screen on the broadcaster, and I thought it was email or email. But I like your username being email. That's kind of cool. So, and they congratulate. Big props to Joey Steyr. So the Chevrolet will celebrate. We'll grab a word with the podium with Jacob, Brady, and myself coming up in the post-race wrap-up. But real quickly, let's take a look at the results here in a caution-filled yellow flag fiesta. Yes, the Banana Republic flag was used many times tonight by the virtual Barney iRacing flagman. And if you don't know what the color banana is, it is yellow. All right, Joey Steyr is the winner when it's all said and done in double overtime. Taylor Peacock second, Stephen Thomas third, Lance Miller fourth, John Hamilton, our friend of the North from Canada, fifth, Simpson, Tribune, Morales, Newton, Hagan, Bullock right now. That's the way they finish in the top 10, Brady.
Absolutely, and you know, we'll get to the rest of the results here. Brandon Bullock in the 11th, Joey Doucette 12th, Justin Lumpkin, Steve Bornett, Raul Meza in the 15th position, Adam Newbert 16th, Chris Kynes in the 17th. That's Jeffrey Johnson in the 18th position, Ed Osborne for Misfits Motorsports in 19th, Ron Hunter in 20th. We saw Ron go flying a couple of times. Zach Hartwick in 21st, Chris Blanchard in 22nd. Adam Cantwell, he raced with us last season. He's back, 23rd. Curtis Rogers, NASRA veteran, 24th. And Ryan Tenham, 25th. James Morris, 26th. Hunter Parsons, who was, I believe, was he? No, he started second in this race, 27th.
Yeah.
Yeah, Derek Kilgore, 28th. Tyler Daniels with those misfortunes in 29th. Donnie Lyons, he had a bad clash night, 30th. Andrew McGonigal, our pole sitter, 31st. I know he's going to be disappointed with that. Kyle Hess for Mission 1 Esports in 32nd. And Todd Dansbury, myself, TJ Moore, Robbie Richards, a couple of us had computer issues. So 32 drivers tonight at the Clash. That's going to be, we're going to be happy with those numbers, Wesley.
All right, coming up, we'll grab the top 3. Of course, that'll all be coming up in just a moment. Rev Racing, one of the new teams for the NASRA Sim Racer Hub Truck Series, getting it done here in the Pultz Poppers Nashville Clash, over 100 laps, 111 to be exact. But when it's all said and done, Joey Steers picking up the win over Taylor Peacock and Stephen Thomas. Coming up post-race, we'll grab them in just a moment. We'll take a quick break and grab them, and we'll return to them on the NASRA 360 Racing Network, and we'll wrap things up from Nashville. By the way, don't forget the All-Star Race. Late Model Stock Car Series will be here in May 30th. $200 to win, guaranteed. And in addition to that, tomorrow night, round 5 is at South Boston. Same time, same place on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. We go post-race next. That'll work. Yeah. Welcome back to the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Rev Racing Chevrolet driver Joey Steers picking up the win. We're going to grab the top 3 on the podium here. And before we close up our program here tonight, first off, let's grab swim racing driver number 23, Stephen Thomas from Elkview, West Virginia. I'll be driving to West Virginia in my trips to Indianapolis and Indiana this week for the next couple of weeks for the month of May. And Jacob Reeves, our man from Georgia, has got Stephen Thomas. He's 3rd when it's all said and done in the Wild Clash at Nashville.
Stephen Thomas coming home 3rd tonight in a very, very eventful race at Nashville tonight. Stephen, tell us about your race. Tell us about your race, bud.
Like you said, man, eventful. Started mid-pack, tried to move up to the front a little bit, got in a little wreck and had to go through a bunch of pit stops to get all the caution fixed, and I kept making myself up to 12th, had to go in the pit, back up to top 10, had to go in the pit, and then finally worked my way up to the. I just never went in the pits. I never took tires this race with all the cautions that we had. Unfortunately, you really didn't need to, so I just went up and got myself some track position, and I guess ever since everybody did pit, I don't think we had more than 5 laps green after that, so it kept me in the top 5 the whole time. Unfortunately, my teammate Justin got into an accident, took out a couple of drivers in front of me and put me in a good spot to get some jumps with our winner. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank on his name. I had a bunch of opportunities, a bunch of awesome restarts, and just couldn't get a run going with all these green white checkers. But I'm glad to get myself up there on the podium finish for sure, always.
Yeah, it's always awesome to be able to get on the podium and finish good for everybody that's involved with what you got for racing and everything. And we was talking up here about Nashville and how it's multi-groove and where it's everybody's got their spot that they can pass and run. Where was your best spot at? Was you better on the bottom, or was you better up top?
I ran so many, like you just, I ran so many different lines tonight. This track is so fun. Um, I noticed when I had some clean air in front of me, if I had a little gap in front of my truck, I could kind of diamond the corners and like get a huge run coming out on the truck in front of me. But when I was passing on the restarts, the high line was the line to go on, a 10 lap run. You had to start going to the bottom and getting a run on people in. Like I said, there was just so many different ways, but I think I think my fastest line today was kind of dominant and getting a huge run out of the corner. I know if I had clean track, that's what I'd be doing to try to pull away.
Yeah, a lot of people love to diamond the corners here at Nashville Fairgrounds. But you come home third. You got anybody that you want to thank tonight?
Yeah, the usual. All the Nashville guys and everybody that helps out. I'm not sure of all the sponsors in the Monday Night League, but I mean all the usual Pultz Poppers and Warrior Wraps and Stogies and Butt Kicker and Azure 360 Racing Network and Brady and Cody Knott and all those guys that do all the work they do to get these series running. Man, Monday night looks like it's going to be eventful series. Hopefully, obviously this will clean up a little bit. This was a fast repair and the clash, and everybody was just having a good time tonight. But yeah, all the guys involved. I want to thank my teammates, Adam Newbert and Justin Lumpkin and Jeff Sickles, the team leader, and all the sponsors there at Swim. I won't go through all those tonight, and I want to thank you guys in the broadcast for, putting on the show for us and all the viewers. Appreciate it, guys.
Y'all are the guys that put on the show tonight. And Stephen Thomas, congratulations on a third place finish. For missing all the calamity that was behind you. Congratulations on your third place run, bud.
Thanks, guys.
That's Stephen Thomas, again, the driver out of Elkview, West Virginia, along with Jacob Reeves. Now let's go to the runner-up of the race here tonight in the Pultz Popper Nashville Clash. Brady LaBeouf is standing by with Taylor Peacock in 81.
Yeah, Taylor, we've seen you have a great run. We saw you, lead up front for a while, and then I believe you pitted for 4 tires, and you made your way back up to finish runner-up P2. Was there anything were you hoping for maybe once you got past Steven? Were you hoping for maybe just one more green-white checkered?
Oh yeah, for sure, man. One more would have been nice, but Joey, he was getting good starts about every time. He spun his tires there just a little bit, but he got going pretty good there on that last restart. I was hoping for some green flag runs there at the end. Even if it would have been just 10 laps or 5 laps would have been great. I wasn't sure if I should have pitted or not. Once I lost the lead to Joey, I spun my tires, lost the lead to Joey, and I knew it was going to be tough to get back by him, so I went ahead and pit with, I think, on lap 60, I believe. And I made it back to second. I had a great time. I love that track. It's a great track. And should be a great season once we get going here Monday nights.
Well, that's what my next question was going to be. I know you're not new to NASRA, but you're new to this series. You're technically a rookie, even though you're not a rookie, but it's your first time running in this series for season 2. So what do you expect out of yourself? I would first ask you, and then what do you expect out of the group moving forward after this run tonight?
Out of myself, I just want to, I've had some bad luck here lately on Fridays. Some my own doing, some not. Make sure I finish the races first and foremost, because you can't win unless you finish, right? And as for the group, I think it's going to be a tough group. It's going to be fun, some good hard racing. I know, most of the guys in there. I know, and I seen that we got quite a bit of new guys. And I raced like Joey. That's the first time I raced with that Joey Steers, and he raced nice and clean. So I got high hopes for this Monday Night League. It's gonna be fun.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you coming out tonight. We know it was a non-points event, but you guys stay committed to the series and the league. So we appreciate y'all coming out running this fun race tonight, even though you got some money. And since even though Joey Stiers wins the race, being a part-time driver, you still get credited with first place playoff points. So 5 playoff points to Mr. Taylor Peacock tonight. So congratulations on that. But before I let you go, who would you like to thank?
I'd like to thank Chris Blanchard. He got the team together for Monday. He's the one that talked me into doing it, and I'm glad. It's fun to be here. I'm racing with I think Joey, Ed, the guys at Misfits, Zach, and Adam Cantwell. So thank my teammates. Thank you for putting this on. You do awesome with the leagues. Have a great time with it. I don't know why it took me so long to get into the Monday Night League. The broadcasters, can't wait to go back and watch it. They do an awesome job every time. I'm looking forward to next week.
Well, we thank you, and good luck to you the rest of the way. Speed weeks, the dual races. I didn't really catch what dual race you were in, but good luck to you next week and the rest of the season.
Thank you.
That's Mr. Taylor Peacock right there, our runner-up. And Wesley, I believe you're catching up with our winner. He's 1-for-1 at Nazareth so far. Mr. Joey Stiers, our winner tonight.
So as Brady mentioned in the broadcast here from Nashville, there's almost close to 50 teams, maybe about 20 new drivers, and one of them is from Rev Racing. The driver out of Mackinac, Illinois, the land of Lincoln, Joey Stiers, winning here at Nashville. Joey, first off, your thoughts of this race and surviving double overtime and being a Nazareth winner has got to be special.
Absolutely. I've never really had any success at this track in any series I've been in. So to even come away with a top 10, top 5, let alone a win here, I mean, that's really special to me. And yeah, my whole race was dependent on all those cautions I had. And I knew a couple guys would probably pit and see if they could get those fresh tires back up to the front. But I knew with all the cautions we'd have, if you were up in the front, you'd have really good position to just kind of pull away or keep that positioning before those front tires got to you. And it actually paid off. And the whole time I was talking to my teammate Ryan Twynham about Taylor coming up through the field on those new tires. And every second I could get him to just let me know where he was at on the track, it would help me greatly to where I could just kind of focus out front and kind of just do what I needed to do to pull away or just maintain the lead.
Certainly was a eventful race with a lot of cautions. How do you stay out of trouble? How do you survive the double overtimes, by the way, just to be there at the end and not get a bump and run, if you will?
Really good restarts. I think the restarts here really saved my race, and I was able to take advantage of Taylor on one of the restarts where he spun his tires, and I was second place on the outside, and I was able to get a better start. And I think from that point on, my restarts were just blowing everyone out of the water, I think, there at the end. And that was really the difference for me. I know they started closing in on me after a few laps, which definitely had me concerned, but then the caution would come out. So we would reset, and I felt comfortable on the restarts. As long as I had a good restart, I'd be able to hold everybody off.
Man, final question, segue this into thanking your sponsors as well. Again, Joey Stiers, winner for Rev Racing, the Green Mean Machine out of Mackinac, Illinois, winning the Pultz Popper Nashville Clash here when it's all said and done, and crash what it was. And Joey, surviving it and being there at the end. But, man, Rev Racing, this new team's got to be high hopes, if you will, in the words of Frank Sinatra's great song, to be optimistic for Season 2 for the Nazareth Sim Racer Hub Truck Series.
Oh, it really is. Me and Ryan Twynham, we've been racing for years on the sim, and by years, I mean 10, 12 years together. So, and we joined some Canadian friends of ours who started Rev Racing, and they have the Canadian side, and me and Ryan take over the American side of things. So we really want to see us go pretty far in the future here, and we'd love to have a few more drivers come onto our team and help us out with things and whatnot. But yeah, we're taking off, and we're off to a right start for this season. That's for sure.
Thank your sponsors, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to thank my OSF Healthcare Chevrolet sponsors for everything they do. I'd like to thank first Rev Racing and my teammate Ryan Twynham. Couldn't be here without him, and my girlfriend back at home for watching. Everybody at Sim Racer Hub Truck Series, thank you for putting on the league, and you guys up at Nazareth 360 for putting on these awesome broadcasts. I can't wait to go back and watch.
Ready for a new season in the second era. The driver out of Mackinac, Illinois. Again, Joey Stiers, winner tonight in the Pultz Popper Nashville Clash here this evening. Now, next week we go to Daytona for the duels. Jacob Reeves, it's been a pleasure working with you tonight, man. Your final takes of this race. Daytona should be wild, even more wilder than the wild card we had here tonight at Nashville. But that's the type of place where you are going to see the crazy racing for sure. Fun working with you.
Yeah, thank you very much, and very happy to be here tonight for the broadcast. And you called it. I mean, Daytona is always the wild card. Any plate racing is always the wild card. So, it was an awesome race tonight to be able to be with you guys. And, y'all got a good thing going over here. I'm happy to be a part of it, and can't wait to see what happens next week.
Brady LaBeouf, the boss of NASRA, the man that is operating this exciting program. And have you had any great gumbo down in Louisiana? I must ask you as well. But, man, it just thank you for what you continue to do for sim racing, iRacing in general. And I think we're going to set ourselves up for a pretty wild race in Daytona for the duels and the big race for season 2 next week.
Absolutely. Excited to get this season kicked off. Like I said earlier in the broadcast, Speed Weeks is probably the most favorite part of the season for me. I really enjoy it. I can't wait to, as much fun as I had with you guys in the booth tonight, I prefer to be in the truck. So that's where I'll be at next week. I'll be in dual race number 1. So can't wait to get with that. I just seen some of the results. I was looking at them. A lot of my teammates finished in the odd numbers. So we'll all be in dual 1 together. So it'd be great for us because we're a new team. To get to work together. I've never won on a super speedway in NASRA, so I definitely want to kind of knock that one off the belt. But for the viewers at home, in closing, for me, a lot of people don't know this, but there's a Discord where everybody can see all the information, the drivers can talk and whatnot, and post-race fights is going on. There's a channel in there, and it is going off right now. So you might see somebody like get Ross Chastain a punch thrown or something virtually. So yeah, that's the exciting part. Everybody gets to get off the race session and come and fight in Discord, and then next thing you know, they're friends next week when we go back racing.
That's the good thing about my job, because I'm literally about a half hour away from another iRacing broadcast obligation, and I don't have to deal with that. That's why you guys are on the committee and you guys have the board. But definitely I can stir the pot on the broadcast booth, no doubt. Brady, thank you so much, man. We enjoyed it. William Tiller will be back next week. Jacob Reeves, you're invited back anytime as well. Adam Flieger on production, helping things out. Of course, thanks to everybody also with the series, including TJ Moore, the race director. Cody Knott, also one of the people that help out with the promoting and race directing and production as well. For Jacob Reeves and Brady LaBeouf, NASRA 360 Racing Network, we're back on the air tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, with coverage of Round 5 for the Pultz Popper Late Model Stock Car E-Series. I want to see that grow. I really want to see this thing build. South Boston Speedway should be a fun one, no doubt, tomorrow night. And don't forget about that 200-to-win All-Star race coming up on May 30th right here at Nashville every Tuesday night, Wednesday night, the NASRA podcast. The playoffs are underway in the NASRA Triple M Pulling Truck Series Round 2. That'll be on Friday night as well. And as always, be good to one another. Follow us at NASRA Racing on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and the official website. For Jacob Reeves and Brady LaBeouf, I'm Wesley Outland. Congratulations again to Rev Racing's Joey Stiers, winner tonight in a wild clash at Nashville. We'll see you next week for the duels in Daytona as we rock and roll to Season 2 of the NASRA Sim Racer Hub Truck Series, only on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Are we clear?